okay. You a couple times. I was like, and I just figured they needed a handbook or something, and you were free, so you went out and did it.
No, they when we got our new GM, Andrew Shankin,
Yeah.
he came in and just did away
I
with
mean,
production.
they didn't like. Oh, they just did what they did.
So there was three of us in production. I got evening news, one got marketing, sales, kind of still doing what he was doing, doing commercial thing.
And they just go right up.
It's not the revenue maker, you know.
We got rid of Trump
I mean, everything that was brought in from sales, they weren't charging.
Testing. 1 2 1 2. Testing. 1 2 1 2. I plugged it into input 1. Should be input 1. Testing 1 2 1 2. Test. Maybe I'll talk a little louder. Test. 1 2 3 4. We are testing with our microphones. Testing. It's a little bright, a little hot. Anything? No. It's on. Testing. Is the handle on?
Because this is the first time
Got
I've
you.
come to an event
Got you.
with a bright background.
I got you.
And somebody's actually got lights that will overpower the background. This is awesome.
What?
This is awesome. When I
How
turned
bad?
the corner and saw all they want to do with the stadium in the background, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You guys did this? That's fantastic. Thank you. No.
Test. Testing 1 2 1 2 3. Testing 1 2. 1 2 3. 1 2. Test. 1 2.
So this is like,
Can you hear me?
this is,
Okay.
this is heavy.
Yeah, is the audio, and he'll probably speak pretty loud like this. Yeah. It is what it is.
Right. It's fun. No, it's fun. This is. We complain every time we see something. We can play background music on the show. I just text them. I'm talking to everybody. And I said, look at my Oh yeah, earlier when we saw the flow, it was good. I think that's gonna go. Yes. Now I know I'm I'm going to set this down here so it's not quite so high in anybody's face. It's not going to block anything. I'll probably put it up on the front.
Mic check. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Jennifer, you ready? All right, I'm gonna go. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. As a parent of 2 children who are LSU students, this hits home. As the chair of the Board of Supervisors, this is my responsibility. So we're here today to provide information to the public and our stakeholders about our plans to enhance the safety and security of our campus during the football game days. Before we get to the specifics, I want to emphasize to you, on behalf of the LSU Board of Supervisors and the senior leadership of the university, that student, faculty, staff, and visitor safety is always a top priority for us. Recent events have reminded us that we must always remain vigilant, and it is because of this that we are strengthening our security plan. We want to first thank Governor Landry, who is a Tigers fan, and as we have seen in New Orleans, moves fast for the safety of all who come to visit all Louisiana has to offer. And certainly game day at LSU is at the top, something I think we all know. And the governor is very, very engaged in this, and I truly do appreciate that, and so does LSU, our students, our parents, and all stakeholders. We also want to thank our own campus police, the LSU PD, all of our local law enforcement who have already been working hard to secure the campus. It's important to note that on any given day, we can have more than 150,000 people on campus. Think about that. That's 48,000 plus more than the stadium can hold. And for those who do not know, we have one of the, if not the largest police force presence of any college in the United States. These are the guys and ladies that we thank every day for being there, and they've done a phenomenal job, which will be outlined later. This also includes the LSU PD, the Baton Rouge Police Department, the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, our state troopers, and many other law enforcement, both regional and statewide, including the fire and safety, Brian and others who give whatever we need when asked. Some of whom the President and I met with for 2 hours yesterday to work through some of the changes you'll be hearing about. We have used all we have learned to inform our plans going forward, and appreciate that the common theme among all the correspondence we have received is for us to provide a safe and positive game day experience on our campus for themselves and their families. It is to this end that we are working to doing that. It's also important to note that 95% of the violence that happens on college campuses across the country does not involve students, faculty, or staff. This data was provided to me from our law enforcement behind me. So many of the changes are focused on the safety and the fan experience of our campus at LSU and our ticket holders at LSU. So to be clear, there are essentially 2 goals we have zeroed in on. One, first, we are seeking to eliminate violent crime and firearm violence from campus. 2, second, we are intending to implement a variety of measures to enhance the quality of the game day experience for our ticket-holding fans and their families. Now I will turn it over to Interim President Matt Lee to discuss the specific actions we are taking to address the events that have occurred over the last 2 weeks.
Thank you, Chairman Ballard. Good morning, everyone. Matt Lee, Interim President of LSU. Mr. Chairman, thank you for giving us a very clear view into the challenges our campus is facing. I, too, have a freshman here at LSU, so as a parent this issue, of course, is important to me, as well as important to me in my role as interim president. Like the chairman, I would like to thank Governor Landry and state and local law enforcement for their leadership and for the support that they are providing for us so that we can have a safe, family-oriented environment on campus during game days. As you know, for 2 weekends, we had firearm-related violence occur on campus. Working closely with my cabinet and law enforcement, we believe we have traced the origins of both of those shootings to a specific tailgating area. In this area, we had a student group, and to be clear, student groups are required to apply for permission to have a tailgate function, but we had a student group that submitted inaccurate applications. This yielded a large number of people being drawn to campus for the tailgate who have no current or historic affiliation with the university. Further, we have enough evidence that some attendees at this tailgate were engaged in illegal or dangerous behavior to warrant eliminating it. Therefore, the space on campus, referred to as Unity Field, is being closed for the remainder of the football season. It is being fenced off, and it is being rendered inaccessible to everyone. In addition, the student group that's responsible for attracting unmanageable crowds is being put through a student conduct process in keeping with our existing policies. I emphasize here this specific area and group because we believe most of the problems that we've experienced in the prior weeks are related to this well-defined place. So I'll now pass it back to Chairman Ballard, who will walk through other specific actions that we will take.
Thank you, President Lee. It's not enough to manage the challenges of the last 2 weeks, but to chart a course for the future. The actions I am outlining are designed, again, to first focus on the safety of the students, staff, and faculty of LSU, as well as the ticket holders and their families who deserve the best game day experience LSU can deliver. We will follow this up with written details for the media. But as of now, this is our plan. First, and special thanks to the governor, there will be more active law enforcement officers on campus. Even though we have a substantial police presence that is already very visible, we will be adding to that. Remember, I said before that we believe the largest, if not very close to the largest presence game day of anywhere in the country. Second, we are bringing in additional technological and surveillance support to help us identify and react to illegal or dangerous behavior very quickly. It's important. It's important that it's in real time. And we were in real time last week as well. Think of many things, but a lot more drones. Third, we have a need to alter accessibility to campus for those who do not have parking permits for the interior part of campus. That will be outlined for you as well. Therefore, vehicular accessibility to Highland Road will not be available for those who do not have interior permits. Please, my friends and others, note that, because you're going to be calling and texting why you can't go through Highland. We will issue additional parking guidance related to this in the coming days. We recognize this might present some immediate challenges, but it is a long-term strategy that must be done. Fourth, I have asked law enforcement to take a more proactive approach to other problems, which I would generally categorize under the umbrella of disorderly conduct that diminish the game day experience. We're not going to do that. We're not going to allow bad actors to diminish what for 100 years, or however long LSU's been doing this. I've been coming for 50 years. We're not going to allow that. So let me detail for you what will attract the attention of law enforcement and get you detained, thus ending your game day experience. LSU is a smoke-free campus. We have received complaints about how the stench of marijuana deflates the game day experience for many of our guests, and most importantly, our children. If you are smoking marijuana, you will be detained. And if found to have illegal amounts, you will be arrested on the spot. And we're going to be ready for this because we, the ticket holders, the folks at LSU, our children deserve this. We will no longer tolerate it. Likewise, if you are smoking marijuana in the stadium, which has been complained a lot, you will be ejected, and if a ticket holder, you will not be able to come to the next game. Tailgating is a very big part of the game day experience, and we want people to have fun. But if your tailgate is interfering with the game day experience of others, law enforcement will be paying you a visit, and they will be paying close attention. This is our campus. This is our experience. Both children, families, and ticket holders who bring these people. And if you don't have that in mind, then we're going to remind you that it's not yours, it's ours, and we should act accordingly. This includes crowds that you are not able to manage, excessively loud music that interferes with the ability of others to enjoy their experience, and loud playing of music with explicit lyrics that I hope none of us want our children and our families to be subject to. This is a warning to both parents, students, and anyone visiting the campus. So when someone says, "Why are we doing this?" just rewind the tape. This is why we're doing it. If you are a minor and drinking on our campus, you will be stopped. This is a rule on campus and extends to anyone on our campus here for a game. I remind you, we want everyone to have fun. We want them to enjoy it. We don't want them to come here and stress about certain things. But if we don't protect everyone's right to have fun, then no one's going to have fun. And that ends today. Lastly, and most importantly, LSU is a firearm-free zone. No one other than law enforcement has a reason to have a firearm on campus. No one should be bringing a gun to campus. Going forward, we expect these changes will yield not only a safer environment, but a better game day experience for our fans and their families. With that, we will take a few questions with the remaining time. And as chair, I truly do appreciate y'all being here. I want you to know that, which I know you do by this action, that there's nothing more important than protecting my children, your children, our children. And thank you to law enforcement, thank you to the administration, thank you to y'all for being here to make sure that the media gets out there that, this is our campus, and we're going to treat it accordingly. So I'll take questions from here.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I have a two-parter. First, if you're closing Island, does this mean that flow to parking through Dalrymple and South Stadium, is that also still?
I'm going to let President Lee answer most of these questions as he has to execute this.
Restate the question, please.
Yeah, so if Island's now closed, does that mean the access to parking via Dalrymple and South Stadium, is that also blocked?
So we're going to issue very crystal clear guidance on that in the coming days as it leads up to the game, so everybody has it in writing exactly how we're going to manage that.
Okay, and the second
Okay.
question, if you are closing Unity Field for the remainder of the season, what do you say to folks that says this targets black people?
So this isn't about race, this is about place. We have had a place that has been the source of significant problems for us. And so in advisement with law enforcement and with my own cabinet, we've decided that we're going to fence that place off. So it's not about race, it's
That
about place.
is where the majority of black Greek life goes to tailgate. So what do you tell them?
Well, what I'm telling everybody is that we have a well-defined geographic area that has been a source of significant problems, including firearm violence on my campus, and we are going to shut it down so that we can eliminate that problem there.
Thank you.
Sure. Piper?
The governor has requested National Guard presence at that very show address silent flag. If that request is approved, would you welcome National Guard on game day to do law enforcement action?
So I'm not going to speak to that at this moment. What we're working right now is within local and state law enforcement agencies. We're going to implement that on campus for the next game, and then we'll see how we take it from there. Yes, sir.
Are contraflow times getting fans on and off campus? Or are those going to generally remain the same?
So we're going to issue specific guidance related to contraflow, parking, and other related issues due to the recalibration of how we handle traffic on the interior of campus in writing in the coming days so that everybody has time to really clearly digest it and then prepare for their game day experience. Yes, ma'am.
What is the name of the student organization that is facing this?
Come again?
What is the name of the student organization that's facing this disciplinary action?
I'm not going to get into the name of the student organization, but we have a process that all student organizations have to go to when they request a tailgate on campus. We had one that did not fully disclose what they were intending to do on that day, and so they're now put through a disciplinary process, accountability process. Yes, sir.
We already have over 400 law enforcement officials, I think, on campus during game day. How much additional law enforcement are you expecting?
We'll have specifics on how much additional law enforcement that we'll have next week. I intend to put out a series of communications next week that both provide details and provide an additional layer of assurance to our guests about what they can expect when they get there. So I'll have more details on that. We've been working diligently since Saturday night and Sunday morning with our law enforcement partners, put together a comprehensive plan that involves both additional staffing as well as some additional technological enhancements to help us monitor the campus, as well as some additional specific tactics to help manage the game day experience.
Chairman Ballard mentioned using drones on game day. What policy provides that service, and what is the oversight for that?
I'm sorry, we have a lot of background traffic going on.
Can you provide some more information about the drones that Chairman Ballard spoke on? What law enforcement agency is responsible for them? How many drones are we talking about?
Well, I don't want to reveal too much about what the law enforcement's intentions are because you have to give them the tools to stay a step ahead of the bad guys. But what I will say is we will have technological enhancements that are intended to provide a safer environment for our folks so that law enforcement can more accurately manage around campus what's going on in real time and allow them to distribute their personnel accordingly.
What agency is providing the drone enforcement?
We can provide details on that next week. Yes.
How involved has Governor Landry been involved in the specifics of traffic spend? I know he called for it, but has he been involved any further than that?
So Governor Landry has been in direct contact with our board chair and has been providing, I believe, high-level guidance. I think that's fair. And then he's been leaving it to us to manage the operational aspects of it. That's good. Okay, that's accurate.
As my colleague mentioned, you already have so much law enforcement already on campus. Is there a concern, at least address this concern maybe from the public, that LSU game day will now look like a police state?
Not at all. And in fact, I think people are going to welcome it because we've been fielding phone call after phone call and email after email from families who are here that expect a premier game day experience, that don't want their children to be subjected to firearm violence. They don't want their children to have to walk through clouds of marijuana smoke. They don't want their children who are 7 or 8 or 9 years old to have to listen to unnecessarily loud music that has explicit lyrics. And it's just an overall sense of disorder that we have to tamp down on because our priority is a premier game day experience for those who are attending the game.
Has been discussed with the governor about
This is it. Let me add to that. To be clear, our law enforcement behind us, representing the men and women of all the branches of law enforcement, what they did last week and the week before, and they were present, and they, in my opinion, stopped a lot more from happening because of their presence. So no, we're not adding it because I forget how you characterized it. Will it look like? No, it will not. What we're doing is we're adding technology and being more specific like you do anything, you learn from it. But the law enforcement that was there was, like I said, I think we have the most of any school, or very close to it. What they're doing is honing in on what we know can watch when bad things happen quicker. But their reaction was extraordinary. But I appreciate y'all's questions. Thank
Last
you.
question, one more question.
Yeah.
Have you been in touch with the governor about possible deployment of the National Guard?
No.